Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our last unit of English 101, the revision and reflection assignment. Yes, we are in the home stretch. I know it hasn't been easy, especially given the circumstances, but you guys should be really proud of the work you've done. This assignment actually is the perfect opportunity to think about the progress you've made over the course of the semester. I have the instructions and rubric right here. I'm going to pull them up. You can also find them under this new module on ELM's Online Learning Revision and Reflection. If you haven't taken a look at them yet, you should pause this video and do that first. I'm going to draw out sort of the major points that you should pay attention to. Okay, but go ahead and take a look at those first. Starting with the instructions here. So this assignment essentially asks you to revise your rhetorical analysis from way back at the beginning of the semester. You should note that this is a separate assignment from the rhetorical analysis, so this isn't replacing your grade. It's a completely new grade on top of that. And I believe it's going to be about 20% of your total grade for the course, okay? So instead of having like a final exam or something like that, a final paper, instead you're doing this revision and reflection. In order to do the revision, you'll need to think about all of the new concepts that you've learned since you first wrote the essay. So I can guarantee that you've made improvements in things like thesis statements, structure, summary and paraphrase, integration of quotations, etc. In that way, the revision is your chance to show off everything you've studied, okay, in the last 3 months. You should also keep in mind that revision is different from simple editing. So while editing has to do with sentence level changes, moving words around for smoothness, and proofreading to catch errors, revision occurs on a much larger scale. So you do want to do all of those things, right? But this revision should be, it might involve crafting an entirely new thesis statement or rewriting paragraphs or large portions of paragraphs or rearranging the structure of your paper so that it has a better flow. Okay, so it's much more significant than making sure that your punctuation is all right. I can't tell you exactly how much you need to change. So I can't say your paper needs to be 50% different from the original or something like that. It doesn't work that way. It's sort of on a case by case basis. But you should take into consideration my comments on your paper, the feedback from your peer review session, and your own understanding of good academic writing now that you've come this far in the semester. You are probably going to be better at recognizing the mistakes that you made the first time around. Okay? No matter how well you did on the original, there's always major changes to make. So even if you got an A on your rhetorical analysis, you should think about how you can expand the paper. So maybe you didn't look at a rhetorical technique the first time around that you'd like to this time around, or you want to bring in a new example, or you feel like you could support your points better now that you've written a much longer paper, right? That asks you to do that. The second part of this whole assignment is to compose a reflective memo. So you're writing a paper on the changes that you've made. The paper needs to be about 2 pages single spaced, so that's 4 double spaced roughly. The revision portion, so the reflection needs to be 2 pages single spaced. The revision doesn't need to be any longer than the original. So the page count for the rhetorical analysis was 4 to 5 pages. You can write a longer rhetorical analysis if you want, but you're certainly not required to go beyond those 4 to 5 pages. Okay. As far as the reflective memo, you need to be as specific as possible, laying out what's new in your paper, and most importantly, why. So, what is your rationale behind the revisions that you made? I'm going to be sending out an example of this in the next week or so, but you're sitting down and systematically explaining the changes to your reader. It's sort of a guide to understanding your revision. Of course, let me know if you have any questions about these instructions or the rubric. The rubric right here is pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. I'm grading on 4 different categories. So the first 2 look at the revision portion, and the second 2 here look at the reflection. And you can take a look at this. In the upcoming classes, we're going to be looking at the level of revision expected. So I'm going to send you a sample revised paper, both the original version and the final version, so you can see how much has changed, and then also a sample reflective memo too. For today, you should hop on the discussion board and do a little practice on reflecting. So there will be a discussion board post on understanding the difference between revision, editing, and proofreading. And then as part of this discussion board post, I'd like you to take a look at your rhetorical analysis and my comments. If you aren't able to find my comments, get in touch with me. Generally, you have to be viewing the assignment submission on a computer rather than a phone or a tablet. That's sometimes something that students run into trouble with. The other thing is that you may have to click through a few things when you're in that assignment submission. So when you bring up your original rhetorical analysis, there may be a link to click that says something like view submission or view instructor feedback, and then the comments are going to be in bubbles on the side. Okay. But again, let me know if you aren't able to find that, and I can help you troubleshoot. But all of you do have extensive comments on your rhetorical analysis. So you're going back to your rhetorical analysis, looking at my comments, and then writing a discussion board post on what is your sense of how you did on the assignment the first time around? What things do you plan on changing and why? This should all be about 250 words, and you should post it by midnight on Monday. Okay. Again, let me know if you have any questions about the assignment here or about the revision and reflection. I'm happy to answer those. Okay. Good luck, have fun, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday.